Well, okay, I'm here. I'm here. Thursday, the 23rd of January. Cheers. Well, what I have today is yesterday I received a parcel from Subhymnal. Subhymnal. And it was quite the package. Subhymnal Sermons 2022-24. The whole box is a work of art. Look at this. Every flap was illustrated. Every flap, including the side of the box too. What they send me? They sent me this series of tapes. People, so, I think 14 tapes in all. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Subhymnal. And I haven't even got to the recordings yet. What do they pack the box with? Pages from the Book of Mormons, the Book of Nephi. I couldn't help but notice. I noticed it was right away. It wasn't just regular newspaper or nothing. I said, "What the fuck is this?" It's probably part of it. And sure enough, it's second book of Nephi. Therefore the Lord shall have no joy. Oh, Lord. Strange. So I dipped into a couple of the tapes last night, but let me, I let them know that I got the tapes, and they wrote a blurb to me. Might help explain what these tapes are about. 14 freaking tapes. Okay. It's a little archive of all of the live shows we've played so far. Think something along the lines of Throbbing Gristle's TG24 box set. Transgender rage and ritualistic discordant improvised music. It also says here, yours is the second copy ever made. Hope to have them available on Bandcamp soon. So I've dived in because that's my nature. I get something, you sent it to me to be listened to. Obviously, I'm not going to listen to everything right away. But sounds like stream of consciousness, collage, and noise making, which I enjoy to a certain degree. Who's going to buy that? I mean, someone might, but I'm curious. Will someone buy that? Well, thank you for sending it to me, though. It's like, because I am interested in real art, what you could call outsider art, to a degree. Just real. I just like it real. I just have one thing to say about the current events. Thank goodness for Bishop Marion. That's what I have to say. Crazy times. So I got the word back from Atomic Disc that I had to make an adjustment on the artwork. Still learning, how to get things exactly right. But it's in production. So in a couple weeks. I also found out that we will not have a Bandcamp Friday until March, so there will not be one in February. Frankly, I know I'm not the only one, but those Bandcamp Fridays are like life support. So in February, I'm just going to ask, as soon as my new release is in, I'm going to put it on sale, but first Friday of February, I'm going to ask for support. So I went ahead and swapped out the DVD player and put my good CD player back in this room. It hadn't been in this room for years. The being able to turn the computer off and listen to music in dead silence, except for my tinnitus, of course. It's wonderful. It was wonderful yesterday. After I finished completing the new CD, Fragments, I have to look up my damn title. After I finished that, I did some listening, but I spent a good part of the day preparing the CD. As I said, Aspects of the Imagine. I was thinking of Fragments of Light by Sensation Fix. I'll say it again to someone who wrote, and I deleted the comment, that the difference between CDRs and CDs is professional standards. Well, that's only true if you don't know the professional standards. I happen to know them, and I use them when I make my music, and I make my when I make my masters for reproduction. So that shit sounds good, and I know it does. Yeah, I got attitude. Show do. So, here's some stuff I played yesterday on CD. This was brilliant. Hats off to Discus Music. This was originally released in the 70s. This is a new issue on CD. February Papers by percussionist drummer Tony Oxley. I think Tony passed away in the last few years. This is killer. It's he's just doing a whole lot here. There's other players on here, violin and double bass and bass guitar. But Tony Oxley's percussion workouts and his how do I put it? His inventiveness in the moment is so strong that I found myself almost totally focused on what he was doing. This is excellent. February Papers, Tony Oxley. Bravo Discus Music. It sounded killer on the CD player. I finally listened to this all the way through. Yesterday was the first time I made it all the way through this record, and I've had this since it first came out in 1990 something. 3 Sweet Pieces by René Lussier, Jean Derome, and Chris Cutler. You know the name Chris Cutler from Henry Cow Art Bears. René Lussier is a musician who has performed, and I have a duo album with him and Fred Frith. Lussier has a similar approach to guitar like Fred Frith, and there's even times when it sounds like, is that Fred Frith? No. Tabletop guitar, objects used, using the guitar to create sound and tones. This goes from the beginning, which is a soundtrack to a film. I'm going to look it up. I meant to yesterday, I didn't. That incorporates things that sound like folk song, all the way to complete wild improvisation, to things that sound almost like, not like techno, but it's like, what is this they're doing here? This is kind of different. This is kind of unique, and it sounds new. It sounds modern. 3 Sweet Pieces by René Lussier, Chris Cutler. Brilliant. Played a little bit of this. Just I'm not really interested in, like, some people are really audiophiles and want to get every remaster, mix of old records. I don't particularly want to do that. So I just pulled out this old CD of King Crimson's second album, In the Wake of Poseidon. Not interestingly, but to share, because I can remember this. The first King Crimson I owned was the single, In the Court of the Crimson King, Part 1 and 2. But the first album I bought by them was not the first album, it was this one. I bought this one first. Still a kid. I noticed right away, like it was like a blueprint of the first album. It's like they're following the very same format as the first album. Doesn't quite work. There are moments on this that I quite like, though. I do like this album. But it was like, well, if this is all they can do, this isn't going to go very far. And thankfully, they realized that. The single from this, they actually produced a single, Cat Food. King Crimson. They definitely deserve their place in history. And then this, post-punk, Prague Vec, No Cowboys. This is really good. And again, it's one of those it's a girl singer, reminds me of Pauline Murray. It's like, did I get it right? From Penetration. Okay, she has a voice like that, but she has a lot of attitude and strength in her voice. And the music, it's like, why another one of those bands? Like I don't know what happened to the musicians. Good drummer, he knows about hitting it right. Okay, but the band, it's scratchy and strange. You know, it's that post-punk kind of this heat sort of thing. This is really good. I used to have the vinyl. Don't go there, Dereck. Okay. Now I played some other things, but I put them away. So that's what I honestly can share today. Yeah, I'll leave it there. So I'm just the last things I have to say is a message to my family. I think if you see this morning, Stephanie, I'm really hoping the best for Kareem. I know he's struggling trying to get work, but I'll be totally transparent. I'm trying to do something here for to keep my shit together. So I got to hang on to my ducats. You know, I know that the person meant well by saying that they thought it was a good thing that I didn't go to the record store, but you know, I'll do what I want to do. You know, I deserve to spend money. Okay, I do. So it's a strange time, people. Very strange. So good people that are sensible, compassionate, and able to speak intelligently. I'll include myself, we need to ramp it up, speak up, and have our voices be heard in this very strange time. You know what I'm talking about. It's very weird. So, thank goodness for music. Okay? Talk to you later.